Hey guys, welcome to another Quickstart video. In this video I'm gonna have a look on the tools menu with you of the FrenschPress. So you're on the web interface of the FrenschPress and you see the little tools button on the right corner of the pill here. So open it. And as you can see, there's a little menu, a sub-menu opening. And this is very handy because it gives you a lot of shortcuts you could use to be faster with your setup with the FrenschPress. So first of all, you can scan for QLab or Go button hosts, which then patch a new host to your system and you're ready to go to control those two softwares with the OSC network command. You also can choose to connect to a Wi-Fi network, which is handy for rehearsal situations where you don't want to have to move a lot of cable through the scenery, but for a show mode I would prefer always to use a wired network, but it's up to you. It works reliable, but yeah, it's just me. I use the wired one preferably. Then there's a backup and restore functionality. So if you click backup, you can back up your settings for your FrenschPress, which you have done already. It contains all the installed plugins, all the scene setup, so your custom button mappings, your presets, all the stuff is inside the backup. So if you back up it and then do a firmware update and then you restore it, you will have all your settings back again and you don't have to do it all over. So it's very recommended to do this before you're gonna do a firmware update. Then there's the possibility to set the OSC port and OSC control. So if you go to port, it will bring you to the place where to set the OSC port, which is just a shortcut to the settings. And again, there's OSC info. So FrenschPress reacts to OSC commands. You can send an OSC command to switch the mode to the FrenschPress and it will react to it. So it's a way to control a controller, which is in some cases handy if you have your desk controlled by a FrenschPress and you have one scene where you want to switch the FrenschPress to another mode and then switch it back again. You can do this via OSC commands. There's a dictionary over here where you can see what you can do via OSC. So you can set the mode, as I mentioned, you can recall a preset, you can switch the button sets, you can apply LED colors, you can do yeah, a lot of stuff, which is sometimes handy, but I know controller is kind of yeah, funny somehow. So then there are some shortcuts also for managing the plugins and the network targets, which is also just a shortcut which bring you to the specific settings. And then you have the possibility to look for a firmware update. Then you can access with manual, you can access the documentation online. There's a link to the website and there's a link to the bug tracker, which is very important for me. So if you find a bug or anything that doesn't work as you like it or as intended, or you want a feature which isn't implemented yet, but you find it very useful and you want to have it, and let me know. Just use the bug tracker feature, sign a ticket, and I will be able to have a look on it, and maybe that's a way to develop or to enrich this device to make it better for all of us. And then there you have, at last, you have the identify button, which is useful if you have two or more devices from the FrenschPress in the same network. You can press the button identify and you will have a color mode running on the LEDs, so you see on which device you actually do the settings. So you're not do some settings on the wrong device. So that's a good and handy feature to see which device you're already on. next to it there's a factory reset button, which is a bit dangerous because if you press it, as it says, sets the FrenschPress back to factory settings. So all plugins are gone, all settings are gone, all presets you desire, everything is gone. And down there's an edit device drop down. As I told you, if you have more devices than one in the network, you are able to switch between devices here, so you always edit the right one. That's for the tools menu. It's handy for a lot of stuff. I thought it would be good to have a little shortcut button over there. You don't have to go under the specific settings and find your way through it, but yeah. I hope you like it. Have a nice one. We're gonna see us in the next.